Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? So it's over, man. I drove 8 hours and some change to get up here to Kansas City. Went to the draft, got y'all some exclusive content, but now it's over, man. The draft is over, and I'm not really, I got a lot of mixed feelings about it. I don't feel, like we had one of our better drafts. Time will tell, but I just want to talk about it, man. We're just gonna do a quick review over the selections that we made in the 2023 draft, how I personally feel about them, how people reacted when they heard the picks live, because me, West Coast, and Landlord were there for the first 3 rounds at least. Shit, our draft was a C. It may not even have been a C, James. It might have been a D. That might be a little too high up on the list. But hey, I need everybody to go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button if you already joined the channel. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, and right now we're sitting at 748. So I appreciate y'all for the love and support, for rocking with your boys, supporting the channel, and helping it grow. And let's just continue to do so, man. Also, I am still doing the jersey raffle. If you send $5 to $ Hennythemoor, you'll be entered for a chance to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choosing. And yeah, if you win, I'll make the announcement on the 31st of May. It only costs you $5 to join the raffle, get you a chance to get you a Dallas Cowboy jersey. Yeah, I so far I think it's a D, but man, we're gonna talk about it. So let's start with the obvious one, Mozzie Smith. There are people that weren't happy with the Mozzie Smith pick. I actually thought that was the best selection the Dallas Cowboys made the entire draft, in my opinion. Right? You can look at everybody else; they have their own opinions about things. Over here, HTM Sports, Hennythemoor opinion is Mozzie Smith was the best choice, right there where he was taken. He was the best one tech in the draft this year. I know guys like Jalen Carter and different guys like that were talked about more, but he was the third rated overall defensive tackle. He was the best run stopping defensive tackle, and he is a guy that actually adds to an area on our team that we needed to improve. We were a subpar run defense. He added a big body, a true run stopper, a guy that's nasty, will not let up at the point of attack, won't let these guards or centers get up to the second level and bully your linebackers and safeties. So you got to like the Mozzie Smith selection. I know people were really wanting us to take a tight end in the first round. I'm not really sure why, but Matt, I agree with you. It was not a good draft. I didn't like. There's a lot of picks I didn't like. So there's more picks that I didn't like that I liked. So to make it quick, I'm gonna go through the picks that I liked first, and then we'll talk about the picks I didn't too much care for. So Mozzie Smith, yeah, I like that pick. I think the Mozzie Smith pick was good because he's a guy that can actually come in and contribute day one. He is a guy that gives you needed size, a needed presence in the middle of your defense. A lot of the guys that you currently have are finesse players. Osa, can push the pocket and he can pressure the quarterback, but he's not going to really help you in the run. Same go with Neville Gallimore. Quinn Bohannon has not, panned out. So, yeah, no. So you got really two run stoppers in the middle of your defense. You got Hankins and you got Mozzie. So you needed some a presence there. And yeah, I like him too. So this next one I'm going to jump to. The Marvian Overshown from Texas. Lord forgive me if I butcher the young man's name. I really like his game, man. He's athletic. He's a true middle linebacker. He plays downhill. He has length. He can play side to side. Pretty decent in coverage. Not the best player in coverage, but he's decent enough. So I like him as a prospect. I don't really know. He said Eric Gray. Did we get Eric Gray? I don't think we got Eric Gray. I think it would have been a better draft if we did get Eric Gray. Where did Eric Gray end up going to? He went to the Giants. Yeah, he got dog in him, man. Like I like him. Like he's a physical linebacker, man. He said, yeah, let's just give it time and see what these guys do. Hey, like, we're going to talk, rationally, once the emotions out of it. Right now, I got to just give you my first impressions on it. And shout out to my brother, JC Cowboy Network, for coming into the liquor store and showing love, man. Shout out to my boy, man. But yeah, man, so I like when I heard it, I like the Mozzie Smith. I like the Mozzie Smith pick. I like the Overshawn pick. You have to skip. You got to skip a little bit down, to another player that I like. I did like picking up my boy Deuce Vaughn. I think Deuce Vaughn fell a little bit further than I thought he would. I thought he would have had a higher grade. I'm glad that he was available for us. We needed another running back in this room. Because West Coast said this too. Like he likes to pick too, but he also hates the expectation that the team is probably gonna put on him. He's gonna have to, come in and produce, take some snaps that Ezekiel Elliott would have normally took. So they may or may not, be rocking with the boy like that. You gotta give him time. You do have to give him time and opportunity though. So those are the 3 of our 7 picks, that I actually did like. I like those 3 picks. What's up with you, Thomas Garrett, Action Pal, Landlord from Wakanda, Trapper the Vibranium, my brother Matt Bann. Hey, salute to all y'all for coming into the liquor store and showing love to the channel, man. Yeah, Jameson said Deuce Vaughn was only picked because his dad is a scout for us. I think Deuce Vaughn is a good player. I think Deuce Vaughn is a really, really, really good player. He's undersized, but when you look at his college highlight, he's very electric. I think people are counting him out, but I do like him. I do like him as a player. And if one of the reasons that he ended up on our team is because of his daddy, more power to it. His daddy made a good choice. Big Mike talked about to get Dalvin Cook and alignment in free agency. Well, they need to do something. He said, Asim Richard. Now, this is the thing. I don't think Asim Richard is a bad player, but I'm gonna have to just put this into perspective for you. We have a very negative fan base. Makes me sick. No, you have a very honest fan base. We're not gonna kiss the front office's ass every time they do something. They ain't gonna piss. Listen, if you want them to piss on you, and they could call it rain, that's fine. But I don't do that. If I don't like some shit that they do, I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean? So if you like the draft, that's cool. That's fine. You can like the draft. I didn't care for it. And I talked to too many people, that actually know the game. Like I chopped it up with Boss Cowboy. He wasn't too fond of some of these damn draft picks himself. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of people that put in hours of work, company these guys, watching tape. Like this guy even put in more work than me on the shit, fellow content creators. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You want to be optimistic, but like, I don't need optimism. Not really. Not really. You saw it's way too soon to judge the draft. I can judge the draft. A lot of y'all weren't saying this in 2020. The 2020 draft, none of y'all were saying it was too early to judge it. When we got CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, and Osa in the first 3 picks, y'all said that was one of the best drafts we ever had. And guess what? You didn't have to see none of the boys play, and all 3 of them panned out so far. Sometimes you know what you know. They went away from my boy, a whole big boy. And sometimes you know what you know. Right? Y'all weren't saying this in 2016. When you got Zeke and when you got Zeke and Jalen Smith the first 2 rounds, y'all were excited about that. Now you ended up not liking Jalen Smith at the end, but y'all really liked the 2016 draft when it first happened. So no, in your heart of hearts, if the Dallas Cowboys had a good draft. In your hearts of hearts if the Dallas Cowboys had a good ass draft. Because y'all weren't talking about waiting to see in 2016. You weren't talking about waiting to see in 2020. You really weren't talking about waiting to see in 2021. Right? When we have good drafts, we know we have good drafts because y'all have good football knowledge. Right? There's a lot of good educated Cowboys content creators out here putting out that good shit, and y'all consume it. And y'all know the game yourselves. So y'all don't have to sit here and wait and see. Y'all know. A lot of y'all were doing mock drafts yourselves. Chris Bose, what's up with you, man? Yeah, man. Like, yeah, what's up with Gina Green? What's up with y'all? Y'all don't gotta wait to know. Like, y'all know. Sports Guru thinks it's a solid draft, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's no exact science to drafting. There's 32 teams made picks. There's 32 teams that had different boards, different players ranked this way, that way, so on and so forth. So we don't even have to agree on if we like to draft or not. But the consensus, right? Usually, when there are a majority of the people think we have a good draft, we feel it. We don't have to do all this waiting around. There's a lot of people around here. Do you consider Cooks or Gilmore part of this draft? No. And I think that's where we differ. I consider them free agent acquisitions. I know that we traded away some low draft picks to get them, but I consider that part of our free agency. Man, everybody mock draft went to total shit this year. Yeah, and it's fine. We can all have different varying opinions on the draft, and we'll see how it pans out. Hey, Sadiqa Charles, what's up with you? Bobby Budget, what's good with you? My buddy said it pisses me off that we did what we did and then see what Philly did. They killed it. Yeah. Let me ask you. Are Philadelphia fans sitting around saying, wait and see what these guys do? Or do they know that they got some high quality players? You know what I mean? It's just like in free agency. Yeah, it looks bad right now, man. It's looking bad. But I got a little sidetrack. So I named the guys that I did like. I like Mozzie Smith, best run stopper in this year's draft, best defensive tackle available. I like that. You know, Overshown, I definitely like him. Seeing him play in Texas. You know, high motor guy, very physical, downhill physical player. I like him. You know, Vaughn. Like he has a lot of upside. I'm not sure what he can give me year one, but you know, as a rotational running back that can be used as a weapon, I'm fine with him. So he said we can say they killed it on paper, but it don't matter till we get on field. Draft stuff don't mean nothing. It's easy to say that, you know, and listen, people usually say this shit, you know, when you don't have a good draft, because we don't say this when we have great drafts. When we get guys that are highly touted, we don't say wait and see. We already assume they're going to be good and expect them to live up to the expectations. Right. So I understand what you're saying because it is true, but at the same time, I don't want to give the front office any cop outs. You know what I mean? So I want us to be able to hold the front office accountable when we feel like they're not doing their job. So yeah, those are the guys I liked. And you also know how I felt about tight end. No, Landlord left already. Landlord had to get back to Alabama. You know, he is the landlord from Alabama, so he had to go collect rent, you know, pay some bills, do this, do that. So, you know, my boy had to depart from me, but it was good to see him, rock out with him, ride around in the drop top foreign, and make this Dallas Cowboy content. So salute to my brother, Landlord from Alabama, man. Real stand-up guy, man. Eagles first round was a plus. Yeah. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys are pretty good, but not great team to me, though. Yep. Jalen Brooks is a sleeper, and I'm glad he's a Cowboy. Yeah, this is the thing. I'm not going to count Jalen Brooks in this. I'm stopping my stuff at the 6th round. So a seven round guy is damn near not even a person that's drafted. Like I can't. I'm not going to really judge a 7th round pick. I really shouldn't be judging a 6th round pick. Yeah, Landlord put in that work, man. Yeah, we're West Coast. Hey, he had to go back to the West Coast. That West Coast Cowboy, man. You know, he'll be back in Cali pretty soon. What's up with you, Nelly Rogers? Now, this is the pick that I did not like. Round 2. The Dallas Cowboys took a tight end. And let's not even just talk about the fact they took a tight end. Let's put this into perspective. Because some people like the pick. Y'all know I did not like the pick. I did not like the pick at all. But let's just put this to perspective. Luke Schoonmaker, tight end from Michigan. He was our second pick. This guy, his best season, listen though, his best season was 418 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that was his only good season his entire collegiate career. That was his best season his entire collegiate career. So let me put the numbers up for you. You know, I'm the stat guy. So, you know, when I come and tell you I don't like a draft or I don't like a selection that was made, I'm going to bring you numbers to back up why I feel that way. So here are his stats. Let me get this loaded up and pulled up for you. Hold on. I got to go to his college stats. Here you go. College stats. Booyah. All right. These are not typos either. I think Schoonmaker would be a good player, but it doesn't allow us to take that next step when games really matter. The trenches matter. Yes, I'm going to put this into perspective after I look at his numbers. Right. And yes, I do agree. Overshawn was a great player. Yes, please go watch film. Watch film and look at numbers. Because if you did that already, you would not be that high on this draft. So, booyah. This is the boy. This is his entire collegiate career. 2019, played 2 games. He had 2 receptions for 54 yards, no touchdown. Well, 1 touchdown. 2020 doesn't look like he played due to injury. 2021, he played in 9 games, 17 catches, 165 yards, 3 touchdowns. Last year was his best year ever. It was his best year ever. 12 games, only 35 catches, 418 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So for his entire collegiate career, he ended with 54 catches, 637 yards, and only 7 touchdowns, averaging 11.8 yards a catch, which is really inflated because in his sophomore year, you know, he only had 2 catches for 54 yards. That means he had an average of 27 that year. So he was not a very productive college player. You know what I mean? So, like, there's no statistic that say he's going to come in here and be a better player than Jake Ferguson is right now. You have Jake Ferguson on the roster. You have Peyton Hendershot. You know, I don't necessarily think you should have took a tight end with a 2nd round pick. You know what I mean? And this is what really pissed me off about the selection. Right? Because you can say, well, they liked him. You know, he was high on their board. There is no way humanly possible the Dallas Cowboys can look me in the eyes. Right? There's no way the Dallas Cowboys can look me in the eye. He said Michigan barely passes the ball, though, which is partly true. But let's just put this into more context. At the time when he was selected, Osiris Torrance, who was considered by many to be the best guard in the draft, was on the board, still available for you. You have a pass blocking defense that ranked 28 a pass blocking O-line that ranked 28 overall in the league last year, right? So you needed an interior offensive lineman with some pedigree, with some strength, with some size. You needed a very good one high. You had the chance to do so, and you didn't. You took a tight end. If you're talking about a pass catcher and a playmaker, Tank Dell, who led the NCAA in receptions and touchdowns over the last 2 seasons, was there and available, and you did not take him. You look at a guy like Josh Downs, who was a 1,000-yard receiver in college with 4.4 speed, an outside threat was available, and you did not take him. So you mad at the draft because they didn't draft the players you like. I'm mad at the Cowboys for not drafting good players. I mean, I don't really care about your opinions on it. Like, you have your opinion, I have mine. So yes, I am upset that they did not come away with this draft with better quality players when there were better quality players to be had. I don't really care if you agree with it or not. I mean, that's part of life. Our offense did not get better outside of Cooks. No, the offense did not get better. Said Triple R said, thanks for the Uber. Hey, that's real love right there, man. That's all on you, Matt Batten, which is your right. Just like I can feel that way, I do. I respect your feelings. Others need to accept other feelings, period. How can you say they are bad players? They haven't played yet. They played enough college. They played college. And that's the evaluation that's going on right now. Can they change my opinion on them after training camp and playing in NFL? Yes, of course. Opinions are made to change. My opinion right now, as of today, is I don't like some of these draft picks. Can that change with them playing and proving me wrong? Of course. Until then, I'm holding on to what the hell I'm talking about. We need a swing. Hope D-Hop trade somehow. The Cowboys ain't doing that. I hope they trade for Henry. Coach him up, Chuck. Coach him up, Chuck. That's what kind of players we got right now. Man, we need to win. Exactly. We got a bunch of guys. Is it possible to play better in NFL with coaching and scheme? Of course. Is it possible to, just not be a good player, to be a player that a team overreaches on? Of course. That's also true too. So, you're leaning into this with some positivity. I'm hanging back and reserving what I've seen, from their statistics in college, from their ranking in college, from what me and Landlord did. If y'all don't remember, though, me and Landlord did an entire series breaking down college players who we liked, where they ranked among most of the experts, did some film breakdowns, all the other good stuff. So we try to get as versed as possible in these guys before we came on here and just said whoopty whoop. You know what I mean? I would just be talking outside of my ass, if I didn't do my homework of some of these players. You know what I mean? So based on the research that I did, right? Based on the research that I did along with Landlord, along with getting some opinions from my boy Boss Cowboy and some different other guys I respect their opinions on, I don't really like the damn draft that much. And that's okay if you feel differently than I do. You know what I mean? Because y'all have all 22. You have access to all 22 film yourselves. Y'all watch some of the guys in college yourselves. So y'all will always come up with different opinions than us sometimes. And that's fine. That's fine. You can feel happy about the draft. I can feel down about the draft. And it's okay. It is okay. You can feel how you want to, and I can feel how I want to. Time will tell, right? Time will tell. Because they got to get their ass on the field and they got to play. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, Miss JC agrees. It's sad. Yep. Expert opinion doesn't matter to the coaches. And that's why a majority of the coaches from the last regime got their ass fired. It's going to matter to the coaches when they get their ass fired for picking bad players. It don't matter now when it's all shits and giggles. He said, I respect your opinion. I will judge the draft in 3 years. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is the draft just went off, right? This is my raw, unadulterated opinion about it right now. Like I said, time heals all wounds. Time changes opinions. You know what I mean? So down the line, they might blossom into great players. They might flame out. But like you said, like time will tell. Henny, this is the worst draft I've broken down. What about you? It's not one of my top ones. We're comparing it to, I think like we really killed it in like 2020. Like we're just talking about your top picks being able to come in and contribute fast and having a lot of upside and being excited about them, this, that, and the third. That's a far cry from what we had right here. A far cry from what we had right here. Yo, Sugar Daddy One, what's up with you, my boy? Benny Stanley, what's up with you, man? Demetrius Adams, worst draft I've seen in a while. Jameson Taylor, hey, what's up with you, man? Good night, my boy. Hope everything going well with you. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. Just the amount of players. Matter of fact, I made a list of the players that were actually available when Schoonmaker got picked. So outside linebacker Drew Sanders from Arkansas was there. We passed on him for a tight end. Josh Downs, we passed on him for a tight end. Jalen Hyatt, big play wide receiver from the SEC. We passed on him for a tight end. Osiris Torrance, like I said, one of the better offensive linemen in this year's draft was on the board. We passed on him for a tight end. Tank Dell, record-setting wide receiver in the NCAA, on the board, passed on him for a tight end. So you do with that information what you want. You do with that information what you want. If you can say that this tight end is better than all those guys, right? If you can sit here and look me in the face and say that tight end is better than all those guys that I named, right, then it's fine. No, if you can look me with a straight face and say that he's better than all those guys and you're happy with him getting taken over them, that's cool. I don't believe that. Osiris Torrance got taken the pick right after. A lot of teams passed on the tight end too, but you don't use that rationality with that though, do you? Because he did fall to 58, right? Probably would have failed much further than that. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Deuce over Zach Evans from Ole Miss. And look, there's other micro transgressions they made, but no. And let's talk about need. Did you need a tight end, or did you need to protect your quarterback? What's more important? Having a tight end. I've not judged this whole draft on Schoonmaker pick. I'm not judging the whole draft on the Schoonmaker pick because they have like 4 picks I don't agree with. Like we've been through this. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really pleased with the Schoonmaker pick, and I really wasn't pleased with the Fehoko pick. I mean, Fehoko has a lot of talent and upside. I still think that they took him. He said, work on his breakdown facts. I said, I don't think Fehoko should have got picked with that high either. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. It's not just the Schoonmaker pick. I wasn't happy with pick 2. I wasn't happy with pick 4. I'm really 50-50 on the offensive lineman. I don't know too much about him to judge him yet. I like the pick, but I'm not familiar with the player. So I'm gonna put an asterisk there because I'm not really sure about him to judge him. He wasn't in the group of offensive linemen that I personally looked at or had on my board, but it doesn't mean that he can't play. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give some grace to him. I usually do breakdowns to get us hyped up, but man, this draft, it's a horrible draft, man. Horrible draft, in my opinion, though. Like I want all y'all to put that in there. McClade, Mike, and DQ, I will trust. I mean, we trust. Hey, trust them. Trust them all you want. But I do want to remind you, they did give you Kelvin Joseph in the second round too. They gave you Kelvin Joseph. They have not hit on every damn body. This is be honest with it. They've had a couple stinkers in the second round. Really, the Cowboys have had a couple stinkers in the second round. I'm only going to attribute this new regime with Kelvin Joseph though, because the Tristan Hill picks, I think that predated Mike McCarthy. So there've been some other picks. We loved Boss Man pick. Who is we? Who is the we that loved the Boss Man pick? Thank you. That was Marinelli. I could have sworn that half the fan base wanted Asante Samuel Jr. over that boy. In fact, I like that pick. Action pal. I hate to say it, Eagles killed the draft this year. We don't. Hey, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. You know what I mean? So we shouldn't have said nothing at all about the Eagles. Double R. Osiris never gave up a sack ever, but Cowboys take a tight end. Makes no sense. Needed O-line, and it was there. Yep. Taco Charlton. I really not bringing up Said I love the boss man pick. Was happy as a pig and shit. No, you good. You good, Joe. You good, Joe. Just a reminder though, I got 38 people watching on the platform right now. We are still doing the Dallas Cowboy jersey raffle. If you send $5 to $Hennythemoor, you will be entered for a chance to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey of the winner's choice. So if you want to participate, get you a Dallas Cowboy jersey, just let me know, and I will announce the winner of the drawing on the 31st of May. So you got plenty of time if you want to join in. But yeah, maybe that be something to cheer y'all up though, man. Getting yourself a Dallas Cowboy jersey might cheer you up. Action Pal, what's up with you, man? Blake Hobart, team missed on picks, but overall, man, you cannot fix the problem you had all last year. Well, I'll give Dallas Cowboys this. I loved the acquisition of Mozzie. I think it will fix one of your glaring holes on the defensive side of the ball. You were a great passing defense. You were able to sack the quarterback at a high clip. You were able to get turnovers at a high clip, but you struggled against the run. You did struggle against the run. So adding Mozzie, who I consider the best run stopping defensive tackle in this year's draft, was an obvious win for our defense. And I also do like what Overshown could bring to the linebacker room. So I think between those two picks, you did improve your run defense. I do believe that. Also, I believe that Mozzie Smith will be able to help Leighton Vander Esch stay healthy. He'll keep him clean. He won't have to play through junk and garbage trying to navigate the trenches. I think he'll open up some lanes for him to get into the backfield. But I do think the Dallas Cowboys are a better run stopping defensive units on paper right now than they were before the draft started. So that is one positive thing. I don't want to be completely negative, like I didn't like anything that the Dallas Cowboys did. It just they made some decisions that I don't fully understand right now. Dwayne Brown, what's good with you, man? I appreciate you tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. Which one was a reach, Henny? If we drafting for a future, why not take Voorhees? Yeah, I like Voorhees, man. Now, he's a guy that had a lot of upside. Some people were saying he might be a first round pick. I believe he would have went in the first 3 rounds. He was completely healthy. I feel that it's like not hyperbole to say. I believe he would have been a top 100 pick, and he fell to the 6th round. So yeah, man. I don't know. I have to just pray about it. Like y'all are saying, they are now currently Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully they can make the team. Hopefully they can come onto the team and contribute for years to come, have long, healthy, productive years in the NFL as Cowboys. But I'm just telling you how I feel at the moment of time. Maybe if I, now that they're on the team, some of the guys I'm not familiar with, maybe if I jump in, do some numerical breakdowns on them, I might feel a little bit better. But I knew I didn't like Schoonmaker because I already broke him down. I already had broke down Schoonmaker. I didn't like him. We also have to consider we don't know all the medical and character red flags the Cowboys had on players, which is fair. Eternal Dynasty, which is fair. That is completely fair and completely true. Because the teams take that shit into account. Because when you're paying somebody $1 million, you like to know how many kids they got, how many baby mamas they got. Is your daddy in your life? Do you like your uncles? Have you ever cheated on your girlfriend? They be really in depth and shit like that when they giving out money. Said Johnny Wood said Deuce Vaughn is all I'm saying. Hey, I like Deuce though, man. I like Deuce. So let's take the name out of this, right? Let me just throw this out there and see how y'all feel about this. So what if the Dallas Cowboys took the best run stopping defensive tackle in the first round and then turned around and got the best run blocking guard in the draft? How would you feel about that? Well, the Dallas Cowboys could have had one of the best defensive tackles and one of the best guards if they had did so. Considering what we got in free agency and the draft, my grade is a B+. If you're gonna say the offseason as a whole is a B+, based on what we did. I mean, he can bust. I don't think he will, but he can. And listen, everybody can bust. Anybody at any position can bust. At least the players that you consider can be busts. Because I don't think a player chosen in the 4th round and back can be considered bust. They probably would. I could have lived with that. Yeah. And listen, it's okay for us to all disagree about, the draft. It's okay for us to disagree about players. It's okay. It's America. It's a free country. All of us are grown. All of us have some form of education. All of us can think for ourselves. So if I like something, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you gotta like it. If you like something, it doesn't mean that I gotta like it. But we can all respect each other's opinions, and we can all sit here and have, open, honest conversations with each other. In 3 years, how many starters do we need out of this draft class to consider it a good draft? Only 3. I say only 3. What's up, Henny? For some reason, it won't let me post comments on my original account, so I'm using this one. That's all love, man. I appreciate you tapping in. I just know HTM has his questions about that vehicle. Man, I do. Bro, I swear to God, I got so many questions. Y'all got to remember, free agency has started right now. Man, so just to put this in perspective, I don't know where the hell he's going to play for me. 3 might be possible. And luckily for you, there are 3 that I like, right? I said I like Mozzie. I said I like Overshown. I said I like Vaughn. Right? So there are 3. There are definitely 3 that I like. So if 3 of them can stick around and can contribute for me, then we'll go back and say it was a decent draft. It may not be, and listen, those are the 3 guys I like. I'm leaning towards them. So, hey, if all 3 guys that I like hit, and then maybe one of the guys that I'm not too fond of pans out, this will be a great draft, right? But like I said, opinions are made to be changed, just like records are made to be broken. When am I leaving? I'm leaving real early tomorrow. It's about an 8-hour drive, so I'm gonna drive back home. It's gonna be a long ride. Me contemplating what the Dallas Cowboys did. Henny, if Eli Riggs and Kobe Trice was available, why take a DB with a? I gotta do my research on the kid, and just to be fair to the cornerback, a lot of people talk about he ran a 4.7, which is true. He did run a 4.7, but for context, he blew out his hamstring. So he ran a 4.7, but he had hurt his quad. He blew out his quad. He blew out his quad, so he does not have an accurate 40 time. He probably runs close to a 4.4 or 4.5. Right, see there, ran a 4.42 at his pro day. Just like, I know a lot of y'all don't know this, but Tony Pollard only ran a 4.5 at the combine, and he turned around and ran his 4.3 at his pro day. And when you look at him play, you obviously see that he has 4.3 speed. Cause he was so mad yesterday, he went live with his phone. He never do that, man. I really don't go live from my phone either, unless I'm away over here. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was at the draft for most of it. And let me tell you, when the Dallas Cowboys chose that tight end, I think it's just like in this chat. There were people. I could see the look of disgust on some people's faces, and then some folks were like, they didn't really know. Then there were some folks that were like, yeah. You know, he's gonna be a great tight end with Mike McCarthy. He's gonna do this and do that. So it was definitely a mixed opinion amongst the Cowboys fans there. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this draft, but I'm trying to digest it. I was mad as hell. You should have been. Everybody should be mad. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody should be mad. Some of y'all, and that's the thing, like some of y'all probably scatter some of these guys to have higher grades on them than we do, and that's fine. You know what I mean? What's up with you, Darren? I appreciate you tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my boy. Said Luke Schoonmaker was a bad pick. Yeah. Yeah. And listen, I'm not trying to drag nobody. No, I'm not trying to drag any of these young guys. They live in their dreams. They're playing in the NFL. They're able to provide for their families in ways they could only dream of before. So salute to them. Excuse me. Hats off. I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them. You know, I'm glad that the Dallas Cowboys gave them a chance. And at the same time, I can still question, you know, how they will play. You know what I'm saying? These are still projections. We're still just talking about what is and what happens. When they get on the field, we will know all we need to know. I didn't like that at all. I want a tight end in the 4 to 6 range. Yeah, it's time to win. It's definitely time to win. Said Henny, set your feelings aside for Will McClay. We have faith in him. I do have faith in Will McClay. Said Terrell Bigelow thinks Schoonmaker was a top 5 tight end. Yeah. This is the thing. Tight end number 2, get the fuck out of here. Well, come on, man. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing with taking a player that high. And I don't usually put this on any other guys you take, but when you draft your first round pick and your second round pick need to be able to play for you year one. Majority of the time, you need your first and your second round pick to be able to play out the gate. Out the gate, they need to be able to play and contribute for you. Monty Smith is going to play and contribute. I like him. Those were positions coach hand picks, in my opinion. Those names, you know. I listen. We had broke down a couple of tight ends. We didn't really think of it as a need, but you know he was not, and he probably is in this draft. In this draft was a top 10 tight end maybe, but at the same time I didn't have him being this high. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have him having a second round grade. If that's what you're asking me. Brian Peters, what's up, man? What's good with y'all, man? Yeah, it's a rough day, but I'm gonna get to go home to my wife and kids tomorrow. Get to sleep in my own bed, and that's really part of the thing that pissed me off, right? You know, you drive 8 hours, stand in the rain and the cold, watch the Dallas Cowboys make a selection, and they pick a guy you think is you don't think highly of. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take a siesta from it. I'm gonna recalibrate. I'm gonna come back to y'all with numbers and stuff to back whether they can really play or not. But you know, T Smooth TV, what's up with you, man? I am excited about Overshown. Listen, I like 3 of the guys. You had 7 picks. I really like 3 of them. Oh yeah, it definitely wasn't a need, and I think that really what threw a lot of people off due to the outcome of this draft. If you see an Eagles fan, you have our permission to run their ass over. Man, listen, you should have been running their ass over before. You know what I'm saying? You should have been running their ass over before. Now you let them multiply. Now they can team up, beat their chest because they had a real good draft, man. They had a real good draft. And I hate giving them up props, but they had a real good draft on paper, right? Because like y'all be pointing out, Henny, give them a chance, Henny. Let them play, Henny. Give them time, Henny. I am. You know, I'm just giving y'all my initial reactions to it. You know, once I eat, have a hot shower, sleep in my own bed, see my wife and them, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in a better mood. You know what I'm saying? But they pissed me off. They pissed me all the way off. Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly. But yeah, man. I just wanted to come on here, man, and give my initial reactions. I'm going to break down each and every player. I will make a video for each and every player that we now have, you know, on our roster right now. I'm going to go in depth with their college production, let you know their snap counts, the different things along those lines, you know, why I feel the way I feel about them. And, you know, so I'm going to come back with that when I get back to the, to the Capitol. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me at the liquor store, having a quick shot, quick drink, with your boy. And remember, I always tell y'all to drink and drive responsibly. But if you see an Eagles fan in the middle of the road, you do have my permission to run their goofy ass over. So I appreciate y'all for the love, the support. Keep sharing the content, keep hitting the like button. Tell a friend, tell an enemy about it. Just let them come on into the liquor store and remind them they slap the shit out of Eagles fan. They will get half off of all the items. Also, continue to support the raffles. As long as the raffles are doing well, I will continue to do them. This month is going to be a jersey. The month after this is going to be it should be for the Cowboy tickets. So just continue to support the channel, continue to support the raffles, continue to support the content. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for helping me get out here to the draft. I did this for y'all, and I appreciate y'all. So God bless, and I'll get at y'all later.